Hey guys, nixonfanatic here. You can call me Nix. I know this is the first original video I've made, and I'd like to address it to Son is the Father of Man. Son, I want to thank you for the friend request, and I look forward to talking to you, and I really like to hear everybody's point of view, so don't worry on that score. In response to your video, what's your motivation? You ask, principally, the question that if a naturalistic worldview leads one to the conclusion that one has only one life to live, then every moment is precious, and why would we waste our time debunking God? Or debunking the Christian worldview, or pick your religion, what have you. I think that's about what you're asking. In response to that, I would basically answer that I have to give Sam Harris a little credit here. He points out the fact that religious moderation is a very powerful tool for providing cover for religious fundamentalism. It's very easy to say that because there are so many open-minded, and it appears to me that you, Son is the Father of Man, are one of these, open-minded religious folks who are genuinely curious about other worldviews and want to encounter other people and discuss what they think with them. So the issue that I have then, and I'm sorry about the break there, is that this sort of moderation lends cover to the fundamentalists. It's so easy to say that because there's so many like-minded Christians and like-minded, reasonable-minded Muslims, or pick your religion, that you can stereotype everybody well by that, whereas, of course, the argument goes that we are not supposed to stereotype you badly, but look at the good works done by, say you and other people of your religion. So the answer is very simple to your question. Why do we spend our time debunking God? It's because you guys, and I'm not talking about you in particular here, but you guys, as a group, do not leave us alone. If no one had ever knocked on my door at 6 o'clock in the morning to give me a Jehovah's Witness track, and no one had ever told me that I was going to hell and deserved it, whether it's them saying so or not, that I deserve it, then I wouldn't have a problem, and I would not spend a moment of my time worrying about these issues because they would be truly private. However, the problem with this philosophy is that they are not truly private. You say, and once again, I want to be very clear that I'm not knocking you personally here at all, but the proverbial you says, you're going to hell, and I care about you, and therefore I'm going to spend my time trying to convert you, proselytize, pick your word. The answer is the same for both directions then, isn't it? Wouldn't you consider that if what I believe is that you have a certain number of tools with which to ascertain what's going on in the universe, and that I believe that some people are laboring under a false apprehension, would I not spend the same amount of time that you spend trying to save me, trying to save you? I guess I have to lift my hand higher if it's to be seen. Yeah, I think that fairly comprehensively answers your question. It comes down to a very similar outlook to saying that you love me, and I'll take like PCS's words here, is that he loves me and is worried about me. Well, I don't know if I necessarily love him. I think he's a lying, fraudulent bastard, actually. But I do care about him because he's a human being, and I think all human life is worth worrying about, if you want to put it in those terms. Sorry for bumping the camera there. So do I not then have the exact same impetus to, quote, help you as you have to help me? I think I do. If you knew someone, and once again, Sam Harris uses it in The End of Faith, if you knew someone who believed that Elvis was still alive, is that a harmful belief? Well, no. It's not likely to cause any serious social problems, other than them possibly being laughed out of a bar every now and then. Maybe not. At the bar, everybody might be a little more willing to accept that Elvis is still alive. However, the point being, if you met someone who seriously posited that Elvis is still alive and somehow made an actual life issue out of this, wouldn't you feel that you'd be doing them a service to convince them that they are incorrect? Not out of malice, but out of just genuine concern for another human being. It seems to me that that is the approach I would take. So, what's my motivation? My good sir, I suggest that it is the same as yours. I think that you and I are laboring under the exact same apprehensions, regardless of which one of us is true and correct, or what we think about the other person's beliefs. If you are coming at me, personally, from a point of love, Christian love, that Jesus has been in your life and wants you to help me, then I can respect that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Well, I was a youth minister for years with YFC in Hawaii. I guess I shouldn't officially say I was a youth minister, but I went through all the training for it and all that stuff. And after some time, I started thinking in a different manner, or I should say, I started thinking rationally, came to the conclusion there is no sufficient evidence to support supernatural entities, and here we are. So, we come at this from the same way. I would ask you the same thing. What's your motivation? If you love me in the Christian sense and want to save my soul, well, then I certainly can't fault you for that. All I can do is suggest that there may be another conclusion to draw about the whole thing. Well, I suppose I've drawn this on about as long as I should. Yeah, thanks for anybody who watches it. This is the first original video I've made. And you can call me Nix.